of the Tower Gardens. I just realized I have makeup all over my face, under my eyes. And it's bright in here with all these hydroponic lights, but they're amazing. So I have a video coming out if it'll ever upload. I'm having a little issue with it. Talking about the drones. What are they? What I think they are. And just addressing that. But overall, no matter what they are, no matter what's going on, if you want to know my opinion, make sure to watch that video. The thing to do is always be prepared. Then we don't even have to worry about it. We don't even have to think about it. Whatever's going on in the weirdness. Sorry, my face is gonna look weird in here because the lights. But I wanna take you guys on a tour. I'm in the garage. Typically in this garage, this time of year, I'm growing all our food, which I am doing. I'm behind, so I don't have the mushrooms going. I'm behind about 3 towers, and our garage is a hot mess because of distribution and things for the hurricane relief. But I do have tons of food growing. And that's the thing, always be growing food, because that and water, those are our weakest links. So there's all this talk about these drones, and I have a new YouTube coming out as soon as it'll upload. I'm working on it right now, explaining my theory of what they are. I don't think they're out looking for nuclear stuff. I don't think they're military. I think our government does know what they are. And overall, they're just part of the 4th Industrial Revolution, where we're moving into. The technology that we have been experiencing since AI launched is like, here. It is about to be like exponentially more powerful. It took a huge leap. And these are the things that are going to change our world forever by 2030. It's going to look vastly different in the next 5 years. So I think it's just part of that. This is a Kurabachi pepper. Now here's the thing with that. What do we do if the world's going to change? You try and be as out of the matrix, so to speak, as possible. Like, don't rely on systems that make you a slave to those systems. Why do we have power, and the power is controlled by one, not one, but an electrical grid, when we know power can be fueled differently? Because if we had independent power, then they can't control the power. If we have independent food, if we grow our own food and catch water and clean our own water, then they can't control those things. And that's not the plan. They want to control those things. I was talking to somebody recently about the social credit score in China and just some of that stuff. And they didn't even know about that. Drop in the comments if you don't know about that. Like, they can track everything you do. Every purchase is done through an app. And then you get these social credit scores, and if you don't comply, you can't get on trains, and you can't go grocery shopping, and you can't have freedoms. And you get extra credits if you tattle on your neighbors, and it's coming to a country near you. So buckle up, friends, right? I mean, we hope not, but it seems like the path we're on. All right, I'm going to take you guys on a tour, and that's what I think the drones are. I think they're just a launch. They're a company. And we're about to see a lot of drones. They announced years ago, and I've seen one of those drones. I saw one in 2017. It flew over in Daytona. It was really low. They're creepy because they are literally the size of a car. They're massive. So when they fly over, they're pretty, especially flying low, they're pretty alarming. They were also out in 2020, flying over Colorado. They were scanning. They had lasers, and they were scanning areas at night. So it's not the first time this has happened. It's just... right now, they're kind of making a spectacle, and I think it's just soft disclosure. It's getting people used to this idea because our skies are going to be filled with them all the time. Not just those different ones, all different sizes. There's a control center for them. Why can't I find a trash can? Oh, it's over here. Okay, let's take a little tour. Okay, let's see here. Ever try to grow strawberries in them? Yeah, I grow strawberries in them. I don't have any going right now, again, because of life. But I will tell you, if you want to grow strawberries, the harvest wall is the way to go. There are certain things that do better on the harvest wall than the towers, and there are certain things that do better on the towers than the harvest wall. So let's start on the towers. Peppers. I grow peppers year round. A pepper will last about 5 years, a pepper plant. So perennial. So after they bloom, I cut them back. These are in need of a haircut. The leaves are kind of icky just from being outside. Look at my beautiful aloe too. This is medicinal aloe. After they bloom, I give them a good haircut. They go dormant for a little bit and then they come back. So here's a great example of one. This one produced. This is a bell pepper. And I cut it back and now we are producing bell peppers again. And it's doing great. And we just keep repeating that process for about 5 years. All sorts of different peppers on here. Jalapeno peppers, lots of medicinal peppers. Look at these. These are gorgeous too. I'm actually going to harvest these and use them for dinner tomorrow. I'm going to stuff them. All right, and then the towers. They're going to be blinding. We have baby greens. So the towers are better for growing a lot of baby greens really quickly, I have found. They grow fast. They grow and grow and grow and don't stop on a tower. I'm noticing on the harvest wall, it reaches a peak and they stop growing. Now, this is some sort of cauliflower or something. Those are basil right there. So we've got lots of different chives, lettuce. These are growing. Oh my gosh, it's so blinding. Hold on, this light's backwards. Here's an example of baby greens. They just grow so amazing and so fast. Green beans, I think are gonna grow better on the harvest tower. So I have all these starts. Cilantro, heavy metal detox, turnips, Swiss chard. These are all superfoods. Spinach, all the greens. I've got more peppers, kale, all superfoods going to help you fight off whatever's going on, whatever they're dropping from these stupid drones, right? All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, blinding me. It's one thing about filming in this garage in the winter. It is super blinding. All right, so here's my harvest wall. The kale does beautiful on here. I'm really happy with the kale, and I will probably grow all my kale on the harvest wall. The parsley, beautiful. Green beans, they are for sure gonna do better. The reason some things do better in the harvest wall versus the tower garden is just the soil medium. These are soil. So there's some things that are sensitive to aeroponics. They still grow, but they can be a little more sensitive. Strawberries are one of them. But then some things grow better on the tower. This is a chijimusai, and on the tower, it gets long and way bigger and like meatier stems. Here, they are just like super bunched up, and I'm having to harvest off them daily because the leaves are so big. They're just like super compact. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's different. So that's great for something like cauliflower. This is a cauliflower. Look at how dense it is. It's gonna produce cauliflower head, and it's gonna be like right here, this little tiny, it'll probably be about this big when it's done. It's not gonna take up much space. So for some reason in here, it's the lighting, I know what it is. It just causes things to get super big and condensed. Now the benefit of that is you get a tiny plant like a green bean, producing all these green beans. I mean, that's a lot of green beans on one little plant. They don't get this many on the towers this fast. So that's a benefit. This is a cauliflower, some sort of green, not sure. What was I looking for? Oh, tomatoes. Same with the tomatoes. I think the tomatoes are going to do amazing on here versus on the towers. I have also noticed, and I'm not going to hold my breath here, but I don't see any aphid pressure on these, and I always get aphids on my towers. I have yet to see any over here. So there is something about the soil that really helps combat that. I can also do radishes. Look at these, where they don't do this well on the tower either. But the tower has its, oh, this one's falling out. This is a turnip, isn't that weird? It's like a crazy funky alien turnip. And my green onions. I love the green onions on here. So the towers, the green beans here, you can see are smaller, and they're gonna bloom, but they put off like 4 green beans when they're a small plant. Where on the harvest wall, it's just like nuts with green beans. But then the greens do a lot better. So I think they have their place. I think whichever one, you know, if budget's not an issue, do both because you can diversify. If budget's an issue, this is definitely a more affordable starting point. And they both just have so many benefits. They're so gorgeous. This one just turned on. Aloe is medicinal, anti-cancerous, good for so many things. And you just take a leaf and scrape off the inside into your smoothie. I'm actually going to do that tonight. Take this one right here. They hated hydroponics. The aloe, it took me a long time to get it to adapt, but it's adapted. And now it has babies, little pups, so I can just start my new ones off of that. Elon posted a video, huge swarms of drones, creepy. Yeah, they're a part of the fourth industrial revolution. Elon knows exactly what they are too. He ain't saying, but he knows. Grow some ZA. I don't know what that is. Oh, I'm reading the book you suggested, the Genesis 6 conspiracy. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? There's some podcasts. Look up the author. I never remember his name off the top of my head. Look up the author, and he did some podcasts with Michael Heiser, who wrote The Unseen Realm, which is also a really good book for kind of understanding a lot of things that are in the Bible. There's some podcasts with the two of them together that are phenomenal and make that book a little bit easier to read. He wrote that very academically. So sometimes when people start reading it, they're like, whoa. I read it by chapter and not chapter to chapter. I just flip and pick a chapter and dive in based on my mood. And that helps because every chapter is independent. And then eventually you get done with the book. Okay. Stop touching the plants. I can't touch the plants. Oh my gosh. Plants do have feelings. I read this thing, not feelings like humans have feelings, but they can actually have energy. And when people come in, like their person, they emit this energy. It's really interesting. And they do like being touched. And actually, sometimes on my Instagram, this is like way off topic, but you get like super hippy dippy people on there that don't like the way I harvest food because that would be rough. What do you think animals are? Like plants thrive with animals out in the wild, stomping on them and ripping at them and chewing at them. That's how they're made. If it's drones, okay, I'm going to read these. Okay, so it's in the air for sure. That stuff we can't help. They're dropping aerosols and all sorts of things. You can't seal it off. I mean, my thoughts are you eat a very detoxifying diet is your only chance, which is what this is. Heavy metal detox every single day. My video on YouTube coming out today. I make a parsley salad and I make it every week for detox purposes. And I juice and do smoothies that you can't, because it's falling on the ground, it's in the water. That's the problem. It doesn't matter where you go, it's everywhere. They're talking about their studies on the soil and how much aluminum's in them, in the soil, and it makes it very, very hard to grow food. So one day this thing's gonna flip and we're gonna have real big problems. And then everything will be grown in a lab, right? Let's see here. Yeah, cauliflower, the cauliflower I grow is a baby variety because cauliflower takes a really long time. And the plant cauliflower would be 2.5 feet diameter. It's huge. These are a baby hybrid, so they don't get very big. The leaves are so delicious, and the head is like a softball. So I just grow a bunch of them all year. Yeah, aphids. I just noticed some aphids on my tower. They're not on this though. And I was curious because I grow inside. I've had this inside for months and I haven't had any problems. But I've had my towers in for 2 weeks and I'm already having problems. Um, I grow organic. Sorry, I'm trying to read the comments. Okay, we're having a cannabis conversation, I see. Okay. Yeah, plants do communicate through the roots. Trees are really cool in the forest. I do not eat meat. I only eat plants. Okay, I can't keep up with you guys. You can keep ladybugs. Okay. I can't read the comments because there's like crazy people in there. Woo, I got toys down here too. So I do keep ladybugs in here. Usually I release them every year. And I have not this year because we've just been busy. What I'll do, this is the one I'm seeing aphids on. I'll just wheel this outside and hose it off and just get rid of them that way. I just give it a good bath and do that every couple of weeks and it's fine. They'll get back under control. I only grow on the towers in here in the winter and it's to close that gap with the grocery store. Food at the grocery store, old, deprived of nutrients, all sorts of things. But here, look at how gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna see if there's, if you already have hard water, do you recommend that we use reverse osmosis or distilled water? Don't use distilled water. Distilled water is lacking, it's stripped of all minerals. I would try your hard water first and see if it affects. Like, hard doesn't mean bad. You might just need to adjust your nutrients a little bit to find what the right balance is. Hard just means it has a lot of minerals in it, so maybe you need to cut back and use a little less minerals. Yeah, dish soap for aphids. I've started sprouting. Oh yeah, Bioforages is amazing for sprouting. I start everything. I get my seeds. If I'm heavily seeding, I get them from True Life. For inexpensive seeds, I like MI Gardener. My favorite seed company is Baker Creek, which is rareseeds.com. They are amazing. Johnny's has good stuff, but they're super expensive. I had one other company in here I really like. You're going to see most of them are rare seeds because look how fun these are. I mean, you can grow, these are all heirloom. So you can grow so many different things. Beets grow on a tower. Basil, peppers, amaranth, cilantro. I buy my cilantro from True Leaf and I heavily seed it. A lot of people have problems starting cilantro. But here, I just heavily seed them. They pop up and do great, and we have food super quick. Spinach. I don't do a lot with spinach, but I decided to try some this year. And I'm in a garage that's not sealed, so you're gonna see bugs because that door's open most of the time. It was open all day today. So it's a little bit different than growing in your house in here. That's why I'm really surprised I don't see any aphid activity on this harvest wall. Like, that's a game changer. If the pests aren't a problem, I'll just not grow on the towers in this side, in this garage, because it's not sealed. You can see it's very high ceilings. It's real hard to keep pests out. The doors don't shut all the way. Victory seeds. Yeah, I love victory seeds. That's what this is. Or these are Totally Tomato. Totally Tomato has some really great tomatoes too. And look at these. This is so great. This will give us, I'm going to do a whole wall of tomatoes. And tomatoes are about to go through a peel with the APEEL. So it started on lemons, apples, avocado, but it's going to be on tomatoes soon. It's probably already in the testing phase, and they don't tell you when they do that stuff. This is my new table for my kitchen, and I do not want water on it. Yeah. Oh, you're getting your first tower. That's awesome, Bridget. They are so amazing. Yeah, that's my my dark seed stash. That's not even that. This is like the overflow. The rest are in these containers and organized here. But really, like, look at this. Secret stash. I'm slightly obsessed. But then what do? If you need to get rid of your seeds, don't waste them. I'm going to plant these in my harvest wall. Oh, this one's really good. Wasabi mustards. Tastes like wasabi. So if you get too many seeds and they're starting to age, this is really good too. This is a Japanese mountain spinach. Oh my gosh, this aloe is going everywhere. These taste like spinach, but it's in the Swiss chard family. So it's a great alternative. I've been super, super happy with this. Let me show you what it looks like. Got one growing right here. And it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like spinach. Really good. It's like a, hold on. I can't do this with one hand. Tastes just like spinach. A little bit succulent, but not gross. Like some spinach alternatives are super succulent-y, and they're not good at all. This one, I don't know, it's so good. The flavor's mild, the texture's amazing. I love that. So delicious. So I redid our kitchen. And this is the chichimusai that's supposed to have long stems, but on here it has those massive leaves. So I redid our kitchen. It took me all day yesterday. And then I ate out because I didn't have a kitchen to eat in. And I have been like a hot mess ever since. So when you grow your own food, that is the one risk. The cleaner you eat, the less tolerant you will be of anything that's not clean. Now it's like instant. I woke up, I had black eyes, swollen. It was crazy. I didn't even eat that bad either. I had an organic biscuit and a corn chicken burger, the corn brand, Quorn, and barbecue sauce that was homemade. I mean, nothing crazy, but there's just hidden like seed oils, and there's hidden, and by the way, seed oils, yeah, they're not good, but we're talking about like canola and processed seed oils. I have heard recently, like some people who hear that then think things like flaxseed oil is bad, where flaxseed oil is actually really, really good. So there are oils from seeds that are natural and good, or okay. And then there's like canola oil, which is the bad stuff. This is a corbachi pepper. These are super sweet. They taste amazing. Red jalapenos. So what I do with these, I'm gonna make sushi, and I put this in the sushi. I take the seeds out, and then I like to dip them after I cut them up in my sourdough discard and lightly fry them, and they are so good. I think that's my little treat, decadent treat. Kohlrabi grows amazing inside and out. I don't have any on my harvest wall, so I'm going to start some seeds tomorrow. Tomorrow's seed day. And the thing with growing indoors and growing, period, in hydroponics, the reason I can replace the grocery store is because I'm always growing. So I can come out here right now and harvest. I already did earlier. I harvested a ton of food and turned it into dinner. But I have new seedlings to replace what I harvested. So that's the key. And I'm going to start new seeds tomorrow to replace these. And if you do that and you're constantly turning things over, then you will always have food to eat, which is the key. That replaces the grocery store. And you got to learn how to eat the food, because I know it can be a new concept for some people to eat this much green stuff. But like my food today is a huge green salad with parsley and red onion, couscous, lemon, olive oil, kale, and that's it. It's massive. I'm eating a ton of that. The parsley will help me detox all of anything I was exposed to yesterday. So will the green onions, pull out toxins. It's great. And then I'm going to have a big green smoothie. And I'm going to have, what did I just find? My aloe in my smoothie. This is medicine. Not all aloe is edible. So keep that in mind. Make sure it's the edible kind, which I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. I found my pups on eBay. I find a lot of plants on eBay, so you can buy them that way. Yeah, oregano is really good for UTI, and the reason is oregano, essential oil, and oil of oregano. So you can just soak dried oregano in oil and let it infuse. It actually doesn't fully process through the liver and go everywhere. It has a waste component, so the body only takes in so much and the rest is expelled. And so it's great for UTIs or anything going on in the bowel area, because it actually travels in its medicinal natural state right out the body the way it came in. So it touches all those areas. So it's great for UTIs. Parsley and oregano. Kale is like eating wall plaster. You guys are cracking me up in the comments. That's funny. Kale is actually one of the most toxic greens you can buy at the grocery store, even organic, because of all the organic farming. There's a problem with organics right now because organic farming, first off, is monoculture. So they typically are growing, regenerative is what you want, not organic. They're growing just like one crop of one thing for the purpose of making money. The problem with the kale is that in order to grow a lot and not have to deal with weeds, which is why they use Monsanto and all the sprays and genetically modify the plants to be able to tolerate those so they don't have to weed. So they use the plastic tarps and they burn the holes in. When I watch homesteaders doing this, I want to like crawl out of my skin, because they're taking plastics and they're burning them, which is the worst thing you can do, right into the soil. And then they sit on there and the sun bakes that plastic. Silage tarps are the same. Silage tarps are taking plastic with the concept of baking the ground to get all of the, it makes it warm so all the weed seeds sprout, and then they get cooked. At the same time, you're baking plastic directly into your soil. So all of those things, now they're starting, they don't test organic foods for PFAS, like forever chemicals. It's not, because you're not supposed to spray forever chemicals on there, but now they're finding a ton of them in organic foods because of the plastics being used to grow them, the plastics being used to ship them and wrap them. Everything organic now comes in plastic because they need it to last long and they're not putting a peel on it. And so you're getting forever chemicals. Like, just grow your own greens. Like, a tower is nothing cost-wise. People say it all the time, they're so expensive. And I know they're a big investment initially, but the amount of food you get out of them and like the health and not having to rely on the grocery store, to me, I see people spend so much money going out to eat, so much. And just even fast food, like even just stopping that, use that money towards the tower, get rid of half your problems right there. Sunflower seed oil. I personally think sunflower seed oil is fine, as long as it's cold pressed and quality and you know it's not adulterated. When they talk about seed oils, it's really the ones that are used to make, they're not real plants. Like canola is not a real plant. And then the way they process soy is really bad. Pure olive oil is amazing, but most of it's adulterated. I get mine from Bona Fortuna. Real olive oil is green. I show this in my video that's coming out tonight. It's green and it's thick and it smells like wheatgrass. If yours is not, if you can see through your olive oil, I wouldn't drink it. I wouldn't use it. Yeah, rapeseed oil and palm oil are bad. Although red palm oil is super medicinal. Now I saw someone said olive oil is bad. Most olive oil is not real, so it's bad. And the worst part is like you pay a premium to get olive oil and they cut it with the cheapest, worst stuff out there. Real olive oil is not. There's lots of studies on real olive oil and the health benefits. But real olive oil is green. You cannot see through the bottle. If I have mine in a glass bottle, I keep a little bit because you don't want it to oxidize. You can't see through it at all. It smells like wheatgrass. It's incredibly strong. So there's no comparison between the real and the not. There are some, like, I don't know their names. Michael, the guy who wrote What the Health? Not What the Health. Yeah, is it What the Health? No, that's a documentary. How not to diet. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I forgot the name. The starch diet, the starch solution. There's a whole network of plant-based people that do not believe any oil is healthy. They are fat-free. They're not fat-free. They don't believe in any processed oils whatsoever. I tried to do that. It did not work well for me. So I also work out a lot. So I don't know if it just was like a calorie thing. I just felt terrible when I did the very low-fat diet. But there are some people that swear by never eating any kind of processed fat. So no oils. It's going to get really dark for a second. Ah! Okay. It's going to get really dark for a lot of seconds because I'm going to the gym, which is another way to detox the toxins I put in my body yesterday. Go to the gym, work out. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to hop off because it's dark now. Have a good night. When olive oil is cold, it hardens. Yeah, olive oil, you can put it in the fridge. It should turn into a solid. If it doesn't, it's not real. That's a great way to test. I tested a few and they did not turn solid. I think you'd be surprised at how many are fake. I actually don't think any of them at the grocery store are pure because you can see through them. Here, let me show you. I'm back in the house. You can't see. You can't see through that. Look at it, how green it is. And it smells like wheatgrass. And it tastes kind of like wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is pretty gross tasting, so it tastes like the good version. You can see how green it is. That's olive oil. If your olive oil doesn't look like that, probably got some bad stuff in it. Sprouts. These are the bi-forages. I have a link to these. Those are amazing. Yeah, olive oil. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. Yeah, I bet olive oil in California is really great. Yeah, I did talk to John with the Appalachian channel. We're going to coordinate soon. I can't read all the comments. So I'll just show you some of my natural medicines while we're here. So this is my pantry. I'm actually going to lighten this. I'm going to strip it because it's a little too dark. But real food, real whole foods. Today's harvest, that's the leftovers. What I made that's going on the YouTube is this. There's my parsley, tomato, red onion, kale salad. It's so good. For smoothies, for regular salad for the chickens. Down here, that is my fire cider cooking up. And I made a YouTube on this. This is fermented ginger honey. And so it's shaved ginger, thyme, and honey. And I eat that every night. So many medicinal properties in that. Oh, this is from my peppers. That's fermented hot honey. And that is fiery. Look at all that. I mean, look how dark the honey got from the peppers. That's actually going to be Christmas gifts for people. People who can take it. So good. All right. I can't catch up on the comments. So I'm going to get off and head to the gym. Have a beautiful night, guys.